Is this thing on? Yes, it is. Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you hear. If you already follow me, hey, well, let's get straight to it. Something I want to talk about today is 5 things I learned while being married in an interracial marriage. I am Hispanic, Mexican, and my husband is Hmong. I am a Hernandez, he is a Yang. And when we first got married, it wasn't smooth sailing. It was pretty difficult. We've been married for 10 years now, and it wasn't easy. Why? Because we're so different. And of course, when you get married, you start to learn new things about them. You're learning how to live together. You're learning what they like, what you don't like, and you're just kind of getting to know each other, going through the waves, the motions, the groove. But when you throw a different culture and a different way of living into the mix, it can be pretty difficult, really difficult. So I want to talk about a little bit of what I learned. First things first, the first thing I learned was respect. I learned to respect his culture. I learned very early on that respect for his culture meant a lot to him. What do I mean by that? I am a Christian, and he was not born that way. In his culture, they believe in shaman, and in his family, his grandmother was a really high-end shaman. And I could have easily said, like, oh, we're not going to participate in none of that. I am Christian, I don't believe in none of that. I could have easily, oh, by the way, being in an interracial couple creates beautiful, beautiful children. Oh yeah, so where was I? Okay, yeah. So I could have easily said, like, hey, I'm not going to participate in none of that. I don't want none of that. I could have said whatever. But I didn't do that. I respected his family's culture, and I embraced it. And what do I mean by embraced? Whenever they would have gatherings and my mother-in-law wanted to put like these little red strings on us or little blessings on us, I didn't say like, no, I don't do that. No, I just smiled and I just took it. I'm like, thank you, and I would take it. When we got married and she wanted to put a chicken over our head, I didn't say like, oh no, you don't do that. I don't believe in that. No, I just took it and I said thank you with a smile. I never once made my husband feel guilty about his family's culture. And I know there's a lot of controversy with that. For me, this worked. I respected his culture and I respected his family, and I embraced it, and I let my children embrace it, because at the end, that is a part of them, their culture and the way they do things. So yeah, that's number 1. Embrace the culture. Number 2, understand their form of affection and understand how they were raised and how they are. As you know, as me being, Hispanic, I tend to be very like out there, very open, I love to hug and kiss and do those things. But my husband, being Asian, he was raised a little bit more conservative than I was. He was raised very conservative, and at the beginning I didn't understand, and I took that conservativeness as coldness, and I took it as if though he didn't love me, and I took it as though I didn't mean much to him, and I didn't understand, and I didn't take it right. I took it as if it was something that was wrong with him and nothing that was wrong with me, and that was wrong. So what I learned to do is that I learned to understand where he came from. I understood the conservativeness. And what do I mean by that? I respected it. I understood that he was not raised that way. I understood that there's certain things that he wants to be conservative about. So if he doesn't want to kiss in public and he doesn't want to be all lovey-dovey in public, I understood that. And I just you know what, I followed along. When we're at home, I love on him, I kiss him, we hug, we play. But in public, I understood that conservativeness, and I stood where he stood, and I never pushed it on him. And that actually helped a lot, because it helped me not feel unloved. It helped me understand. And yeah, so understanding their form of affection. That's, I guess, number 2, understanding their form of affection. Number 3, I learned that I tend to hold everything in. So I learned that I needed to just kind of chill out. I know that usually in marriage, when you tend to argue and you're just like arguing back and forth, and it gets heated, and he's saying what he's saying and you're saying what you're saying. But in my marriage, my husband, since he's Asian, he's a little bit more passive, meaning that he holds everything in and he's very quiet about it. And he doesn't like that stuff. He doesn't like the loudness. He's very passive, very calm. And at the beginning, I wasn't like that. I'm Mexican, I'm Latin, I'm loud, and I'm proud, and I'm very, very like on fire. So I had to learn to calm my waters, and I had to learn to understand that there's a time and place for everything. So maybe I am upset and he's upset. I learned not to chase him. I learned not to just keep yelling at him. I learned to let him have his time, let him cool down, and we'll come and talk again when we're both very calm and collected, because he's very passive. So what would happen is that if I kept pushing his buttons and pushing his buttons and pushing his buttons, he would end up being very angry. And that was honestly my fault, because I knew that, and but I wanted a different reaction. I wanted what I saw in my mom and dad, some like fiery stuff, arguing back and forth, and then we make up and it's fine. But it's not like that with him. He was very passive, so if we would argue like that, he would hold it for a while, and I didn't like that. So I learned timing is everything. Timing is everything. Number 4, it's the little things that count. And what do I mean by it's the little things that count? My daughter's right there. Number 4. Can you say number 4?
Number 4.
It's the little things that count. And what do I mean by the little things? I meant like I really mean the little things. When we got married, I made sure to just embrace the little things that he liked. He's big on rice, so I make sure that we never lack rice, because for him, rice is like his tortilla. So if he doesn't have it, he doesn't enjoy his food as well. Another little thing, he was raised being barefoot, so my kids are always barefoot. Now, I was raised that if I go outside barefoot, I'm gonna get sick. I need a cover up. Always have shoes. But he wasn't raised like that. And at the beginning of our marriage with our first child, it was very hard. She needs to put on shoes. It's cold outside. She needs to have a sweater. And we would kind of argue about that. But I started to learn that it's the little things that count. So if he doesn't wear shoes, they don't wear shoes. And it's like, what other little thing? Hands. He's big on eating rice with his hands. That's just how he likes to eat the things. And my kids do it too. And I could easily say like, that's bad mannered. Like they need to eat with a fork and spoon and all these things. But I don't do that, because it's the little things that count. I let them eat their rice with their hands. I let them be barefoot. I have a rice cooker. I always have rice. It's the little things that count. It's the little things that make him feel at home. And yeah, so that's a big one. It's the little things. And I guess I would say last but not least, number 5, making him feel included. I speak Spanish and he speaks Hmong. And when he comes over to my family's house, or when we're together with our family, I make sure that if they're speaking Spanish, he understands at all times what they're saying. at all times. He understands what they're saying at all times. I never make him feel excluded. I always make sure that he feels included. And it's nice though, because now he understands the language, but I still always want him to feel included. Whenever anybody says anything in Spanish, I make sure I translate it like immediately. And that's a big one for him to feel included. So yeah, I just wanted to share those little things, those little tidbits with you about being married in an interracial marriage. If you are married in an interracial marriage, hopefully you like these tips. Maybe you have some more tips for me. It's been a journey, to be honest. It's not easy. It really isn't. At the beginning we did clash a lot because we're so different. We're really different. But we learned. We lived, we love, and we learned. And we got beautiful, beautiful kids out of it. So I am really, really blessed to be able to have met him. And yeah, those are 5 things. Can you say 5 things? 5 things I learned while being married in an interracial marriage. So yeah, if you like what you heard today, don't forget to subscribe. Say please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And we'll see you again next time. Bye.